Hi friends and family, it's teacher Jenny here in my STEAM Center, and I'm here today to show you something that you can experiment with at home and a science demo for us to do together right now. So, I have this board. Can anyone tell me what this is called? It's called a ramp. Now, a ramp is essentially an inclined plane, it's a fancy term, but it's just something that has a slope to it. A slope is how steep something is. So this ramp has a very steep slope, but we can adjust it as well, and this slope is less steep. This slope is almost flat. So let's have a steep slope for now, for our ramp. So what we're going to do is we're going to experiment just like scientists do. Now, scientists are all about making observations, asking questions, and seeing what happens when they try something new. And then they like to think about maybe why something happened. They like to think about why things work. So what we're going to do today is ask ourselves a question: will it roll? Now, rolling, can everyone do this with me? Take your 2 index fingers and move them around, just like we do with wheels on the bus, right? This is roll. Can you say roll? Good job. We are going to test if something will roll down the ramp. So what you can do in your own home is just collect whatever objects you have lying around. I just looked around my classroom for these. For example, I have an empty container of cottage cheese. Thank you very much, my toddlers, for eating that up. I have a dinosaur, a triceratops if you will. I have a book, some Scotch tape, a blue rectangular block, an apple from our play kitchen, a wheel, and a little person. So we're going to ask with each of these objects, will it roll? If it does roll, we're going to place it in this bin. Yes, it rolls. If it does not roll, we'll place it in this one. No, it does not roll. You can sort as you test each of your objects, or you can do that afterwards. Up to you. I think it's really helpful to sort them and see why each one worked and what didn't. So we'll talk about that after. Now, I'm going to start with the wheel because from my experience, I predict that the wheel will roll down the ramp because I see wheels all over on bikes, on cars, and I've seen them roll before. So I think it will roll. Do you think it will roll? Yeah, let's find out. Let's test just to make sure. Ready? I'm just gonna let it go. Did it roll? Yeah, that certainly rolled. This wheel, it rolls. Awesome. Let's go on to the next object. What about the book? Will this roll? What do you think? Maybe. It certainly looks a lot different from the wheel to me, so I might predict no, but let's test and find out. That's what scientists do. I'm just going to place it up here and let it go. Did it roll? Not really. It moved down the ramp, but it didn't roll. So we're going to say no, it does not roll. What about this apple? Does this remind you of anything you've seen before? It looks like an apple. I think it looks like a ball. It's kind of the shape of a ball. It's round. So let's see, will it roll? What do you think? Yes or no? Let's find out. Oh yeah, that was a great roll. This apple rolled. What about the triceratops? Do you think it will roll? I don't know, let's see. Okay, triceratops moved down the ramp, but it didn't roll, so it does not roll. What about the person? Will she roll? Let's test it. Okay, she did not roll. She again moved down the ramp like maybe you would move down a slide, but she did not roll. Let's try our beloved cottage cheese, everyone. Do you think it will roll? Okay, let's find out. Did it roll? Yeah, it kind of went off to the side, but that was a roll for sure. Okay, what about our blue rectangular block? Will it roll? Let's see. I observed that that did not roll down the ramp, so we're gonna put that in our did not roll. And last but not least, our Scotch tape. Do you think it will roll? All right, this is our last prediction, scientists. Yes or no, will it roll? Let's test and find out. That was a good roll, my friends. This Scotch tape did roll. Excellent. Now that we've tested all of our objects and we have them in it did roll or it didn't roll categories, let's take a look and try to think about why did some things roll and why did they not? So I can lay these out in our two categories. We have the cottage cheese, the Scotch tape, the apple, and the wheel all rolled. And then the book, the triceratops, the person, and the rectangular block did not roll. So let's take a look at these objects. Is there anything you notice between the two groups? Is there anything that might be standing out to you? Why did these roll? And why didn't these roll? Let's take a closer look at the shapes of the objects that we have that did roll. Do you notice any similarity? Anything that's the same between the objects that rolled? To me, I see the shape of a circle in each of these objects. Can you say circle? Circle. I see a circle. I see a circle. This is a circle. And even this apple, if I were to draw my finger around it, my finger would create a circle. We call an object like this a sphere or spherical. It's round like a circle, but it's three-dimensional like a ball, so it's a sphere. But all of these circles and these spheres, they're all round in some way, which helps them roll down the ramp. That's how they rolled. Now scientists, I want you to take this into your own home. Challenge yourself to look around, find some objects that you can test that will roll. Or maybe find some that won't roll. Maybe you'll be surprised by what you find out. But either way, it's super fun to experiment and ask yourselves those questions. Additionally, families and students, there's so many possibilities with ramps. I think they are one of the most fun toy to play around with to really engage in scientific observation and questioning, and they're just so engaging for kids too. They love them. And it doesn't matter if you have a fancy ramp like mine. You can easily make a ramp out of books. I just had some hardcover books in my classroom, so I stacked them up together. It's got some blocks here that I used. I used sofa cushions. Maybe you could use a cutting board that you have. I don't know, the possibilities are really endless, so just get creative with what we got around. Additionally, with your ramp, you can test it with different slopes and at different heights to see what happens when it's a really steep slope. What happens when I have a really flat or less steep slope? I think it'd also be cool to experiment on different surfaces. So I had my ramp perched up on this wooden table, which is pretty smooth. But what would happen if you changed the friction of what your ramp was on? For example, if you tried it on a carpet or tile. And also, we all know that kids love cars. My gosh, it feels like we're surrounded by cars, and they love this. You can test cars going down the ramp. Different cars, maybe the weight or the length of the car changes how they roll down. Maybe the height of the ramp again, testing with the cars. Just experiment and get creative with it. Just like scientists do, they ask questions about everything around them, and toddlers and young children are just naturally born scientists. So really tap into that, and as you're working with your child, help them vocalize and find the language to describe what they're already curious and thinking about. So A child might not know to say, I predict this will roll, but you can help them by giving them that language to say what they want to say. And it also helps them model behaviors of scientists. So get creative, have fun, learn something, let us know how it goes, and until next time, see you then.